Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Infamous Podcast. This is episode number 3.
Infamous idiots.
What did I say?
Infamous
Did
idiots.
I really not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just subscribe.
My bad. Yeah, like and subscribe. Infamous idiots.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just a little brain dead because the only good fight on tonight was like one card, and it was a really good fight, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, Alex just dominated. Really.
Yeah, we'll just get right into it, I guess. I think Alex Pereira has quickly become. I'm gonna agree with you. He said that I think Alex Pereira is the face of the UFC, and kind of can't disagree now.
I mean, what
honestly.
he's done in like, I think they said on the broadcast, 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. I don't think anyone's had that fast of a rise to not just one world title but two, and defending the light heavyweight one, which is commonly in the lore of the light heavyweight division has been super hard to defend unless you're John Jones. So excluding him, it's always been passed around like 1-2 defenses max, and you're on to the next essentially.
Yeah, I think Alex Pereira proved a lot that I think he's just the guy. Honestly, like whatever he wants to do, I'm all for it. If he wants to go up to heavyweight or not, it's just crazy to see his growth since the beginning of his career in the UFC. Yeah. And man, I just gotta say, like that, it is something special. I don't know if you would agree. But.
So if he does move up to heavyweight, what do you think the best course is? Because like if Stipe and John are most likely gonna fight, and then possibly, depending on how John views it at that point, he might either retire, or he might be like, all right, let's get the Tom Aspinall out of the way.
Honestly, this is a hot take. This is my hot take for the pod. But a hot take, I think instead of Stipe fighting John Jones, I think Alex Pereira would be a bigger fight right now.
I think so. I agree with
Stipe versus Alex Pereira, and honestly, you could maybe give Stipe. I feel like Stipe has a better shot against Alex Pereira. Now, Alex Pereira is dangerous. He's a dangerous kickboxer. Yeah. You got to give him respect. Two different sports. He's a 2-time champion, so that's unheard of. Honestly, you could make the argument that he is the GOAT. To be honest,
who is
Alex Pereira?
Yeah, he's definitely moving up. He's moving up there, man. I mean,
he's a GOAT.
I mean, he's either in the top, right in the top 5, or just outside of it. I mean, I would have to go through, but man, I mean, it's tough to just deny that. And then I know it's hypothetical, but if he moved up to heavyweight, I don't even think there'd be he's for sure in the top 3. If he did move up to heavyweight and got the belt, he's for sure in the top 3. I mean, no one's ever done that.
I mean, dude, there's something to be said about him not draining himself and just letting his body grow physically.
Yeah. And
I think that he could grow into the heavyweight division and really be a problem. That's actually insane to think about.
I wonder, what do you think he walks around at?
I think they said he walks around like 250.
No way.
I swear to God.
Oh my God. I don't believe that. I would have said like 230 max.
No. He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Because he was just fighting at middleweight. Unless they're saying that he bulked.
You don't understand. Okay. He was really, really like.
No, I know he was, but that's what I'm saying.
But he's rehydrating now. Like, this is at what I'm assuming his body is acclimating to now, to light heavyweight again.
I'm gonna still say 230. 250 just seems too big.
No,
that's like,
dude, don't be surprised.
What does Tom walk around at? I don't know. 240. That's what I'm saying. That Tom is a big heavyweight, and I just don't see 250. I think you're overreaching.
Maybe, maybe.
But I mean, regardless, if he did get up and move, to me the most interesting fight, if there was a heavyweight fight, was Alex. I think.
Don't say Tom.
Huh?
Don't say Tom.
I think it is Tom. I do. Because you got to think about like how they are on the feet and everything. I'm sorry. I think he would steamroll Stipe.
Who? Stipe or
Alex would steamroll Stipe? I think. Just because of like the age, the speed, the difference, the technique, and everything, I just. But then again, Stipe could just come out and wrestle. I mean, he did that against Francis, so I guess it just really depends on like the way the fight plays out. But in terms of being on the feet, I would give a strong. I mean, honestly, this goes against anybody. Alex has a big advantage, pretty much against everybody, other than maybe John Jones.
Dude, people don't give him credit for adapting because there's a sequence in there where you know how Yuri does those blitzes and it's like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. There's a sequence, I don't know if you remember, he literally slipped every single one of them and landed just a clean right hand. My God, his striking is like destructively beautiful. There's like striking where it's elegant.
Yeah.
like a ballerina.
I
But
mean,
then
that-
there's striking where you're like, oh my goodness, this man is an absolute savage. And we didn't talk about the stare down. That stare down lasted
like 5 minutes.
yeah, 4 minutes and 55 seconds, essentially 5 minutes. That's insane. These men
Yeah.
peered into each other's souls.
I mean, the first fight was way more competitive compared to this one. I mean, just and to me that just shows like how much Alex has grown just from that fight. You know what I mean? Like just understanding what because Yuri's not very what do you call it? He's not orthodox at all. He's unorthodox to the extreme. Like
He's
his hands are
very
down.
awkward.
He's moving. You know what I mean? Even though he has like he kind of has like a weird kind of karate type box wide stance. You know what I mean? It's just he's just odd, and just for Alex to just kind of figure him out and just piece him up. I mean, dropped him with the left hook right at the end of the first round.
God,
Came
that
out in
was
the beginning
so
of the
sick.
second and immediately landed a left high kick. Like, I mean, holy crap, dude. I mean, I don't know if it gets any cleaner than that. Like that shit was kind of iconic.
Yeah, dude, and you also have to okay, UFC 300 was robbed, and rightfully so, by Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. But a lot of people forget that knockout that Alex Pereira delivered against Jamal Hill. That was a thing of beauty. That man cooked, okay? That man cooked. And
I don't disagree there.
I think the fights to make now. Honestly, look, before we get into this, we just want to reiterate, we thought this card was a bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was a little underwhelming. It's fine, it happens. I still give credit to the UFC, and honestly, this is why the UFC is number one, is that they were still able to deliver a card. Boxing would have canceled the event immediately.
Yeah.
And given you your refund, but at the end of the day, at least they attempted to do something, and I think we saw the continuation of a very impressive legacy that Alex Pereira is leaving behind. And honestly, he's running laps around Izzy right now.
Yep. I mean, I touched on like a previous pod. I think it was the second episode, but man, Alex has just proven to me more and more of like, or just like kind of made me a little bit less of an Izzy fan, because I was a big Izzy fan coming up, and then I felt like Izzy kind of got a little too complacent. You know, he'd do the jab right, and then lean back like Chuck Cook, and then leg kick. And Alex has just been like what we said, 18 months, and he's done what nobody else has done, and it's just like, wow, I'm a big fan. Like he's just turned me all the way around. He went from villain to now hero. Like that's literally what it is, and it's kind of insane. I can't think of anyone else that's had more of a, I don't even know, role switch up, or
Is Alex Pereira is the first man to become middleweight champion and light heavyweight champion, right?
I mean, you also got to think how much of a weight jump there is. It's like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
From just middleweight to light heavyweight.
Makes you wonder.
I mean, Izzy couldn't do it. Remember, he could not do it.
Well, I feel like he just didn't do it properly. True. He was a lot like Max.
I agree.
I think he just had the worst approach. Mm-hmm. I kind of think that Jan Blachowicz lost might have got to him.
Mm. Yeah, I agree.
I think he just became complacent with winning and not really. But also, there is something to be said. If you are the challenger, make it challenging. If the champion is allowed to just do these things and spam it, then how good are you really?
Yeah,
I don't think you're good enough to be champion.
I mean, I feel like you knew what Blachowicz was going to do, and he implemented his whole game plan.
Yeah,
and that's on Izzy to change. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I to bring it back to Alex is like, that's one thing, is what Alex is going to do. It doesn't matter. He's gonna make you fight his game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like going into this fight, you would think that Blachowicz, Yuri would have to essentially take him down, because he took him down in the first fight, and then they end up getting to the fight or up to the feet, and then he got caught. And to me, that was the key to victory for him. He had to do that, because you don't want to stand up with this dude. This dude was in glory. He was fighting like every month. Like you don't want to do that. It's just not. And you see what the outcome is.
Yeah, very impressive knockout on a completely underwhelming card. But again, props to the UFC for even pulling something out of their ass.
Yeah.
Prop to Dan Ige for coming in on 3 hours notice.
It's ridiculous.
Insane. I think
the second most entertaining fight of the card.
Absolutely. Sure. I think that fight was. I think that was the best fight we could get on a moment's notice. Mm-hmm. And props to Dan Ige. I'd love to see where Dan Ige goes in his career. I think 5 rounds, and I think Diego would have been out. Honestly, I really believe so. He, it takes time with certain fighters and their fighting styles. It takes time to gauge distance. To figure out the timing. And it took Danny again, unfortunately,
no
third
camps.
round.
No
No
camps.
camps. So, and also props to Diego for cutting weight 3 times.
Oh my God, that's so
145, 155, 165, and I still believe this was a test run for the 165 division, honestly.
I mean,
just
I'm
give
all
it
for
to
it,
us.
bro.
165, please.
Yes.
And, hear me out, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor for the 165-pound
Well, I mean, if you were to...
That is the fight to make if you want to open up a division.
Yes, exactly.
You still give Conor his flowers.
And honestly, that might get Conor into that where he's like, all right, I have to fight.
He has to lock in. Because at the end, honestly, we don't know when we're going to see Conor.
At this point, we
don't
might
know.
never see him again.
We might not see him in the octagon this year if we're lucky. If we're lucky, maybe next year.
I mean, he was joking not that long ago. He's like, oh my God, Conor McGregor just retired. And I was like, oh, really? Like,
he wasn't surprised.
I was not surprised.
He wasn't.
I wasn't like, oh my God, we didn't get to see this fight. This fight. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if tomorrow or a week from now he's like, I'm done, guys. I'm just going to do Roadhouse 2, essentially, But
which I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I liked Roadhouse. It was just a fun movie, you know what I mean? So... But go back to 165. I just think there'd be so many good matchups. Like, Charles Oliveira, you can throw in there. Michael, you know what I mean?
Boy,
there's
you're cooking.
There's just those people, and that would just make sense at that weight class.
Okay, this would be a great fight just because I'm hoping that Charles would deliver the ass whooping to Colby Covington that I think he deserves.
See,
so honestly, dude, I think there's so many fun matchups.
I mean, as much as I hate Colby, I do think actually 165 would be probably perfect for him.
Dude, okay, but you have to understand he's like a lot of our fighters that we follow now. He's towards the tail end.
Oh yeah, no 100%.
I think he's like 38.
Yeah, he's getting up there, bro. I mean, he had 3 titles. Dude, did he have 3 title shots?
He already got his jaw broken.
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna get knocked out.
That last title shot he did not deserve. It was just purely on name to sell the best card sell the best most pay-per-views possible. So I mean 165 we're in agreement.
And he lost to Jorge.
I think everyone would be pretty much in agreement for 165.
Yeah, I don't think there would be.
I don't really see a downside to it. I mean, can you even think of one?
You would have to move the welter. You would have to adjust the weight division
just
because it's too close to welterweight.
It goes up 5 pounds. If you look at every weight class,
it doesn't make sense. Some of the weight classes don't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, the biggest, I mean, if we're also going that route, then you would want to do a 195-pound division too. Add 2 new divisions, and then there you go. You move up welterweight 5 pounds. Makes it easier for people to cut weight they're already cutting.
Oh
massive
wow!
amount
So
of weight.
you would just be making a cruiserweight division, if anything.
Yes.
I would totally be up for that.
And the more belts, the more potential for superstars. Those tweener people.
Dana, get a hold of us. Dana.
So man. I mean, I'm all for 2 weight classes.
I didn't. Dude, I am actually, absolutely.
Because
I would said, love this.
It just goes back to every weight class is 10 pounds apart. Makes sense if someone wants to drop down, like let's say featherweight, they're fighting at featherweight. Let's go down to bantamweight.
The weight
if
makes
they can
a
make
difference.
it, obviously if they can make it. But like, just if you just look at people that are stuck at middleweight, because there are those tweeners that are just like, man, 185 is just crazy. I can't really make it. But 205, you're going against people that are essentially heavyweights cutting down to 205.
Yep.
I mean, DC did it for so long. He was bigger than everyone.
Okay, but if DC had dieted, he could have been a middleweight.
But see, I'm totally agreeing with that. I'm just saying that in terms of like the people that fight at 205, they could easily fight at heavyweight. I mean, obviously, they might weigh like 230. But the people that are in betweeners, they're the ones that suffer. Yeah. And that's why I'm in all favor for a cruiserweight.
No, absolutely, I agree. And honestly, again, it was an okay card.
Yeah. Apparently the prelims, which we missed, were the best part of the fights.
We slept
those always sucked.
We slept in a little bit, but it's unfortunate. Next fight card that we will probably watch, UFC 30.
Edwards Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
probably
next
the
one.
only time we'll ever buy a Bilal Muhammad fight. Honestly, that's
and
just
even
what
then
I think.
we're questioning if we should.
Yeah, honestly, Tom Aspinall, like you better be.
Yeah,
I want to see. I love watching Tom Aspinall.
And to go back to, I was telling bro who is the most under promoted fighter, and I told him it was Tom. I didn't even know about Tom until this dude told me, and I immediately looked at him. I was like, oh my god, he's finishing everyone. He's finished. He's talent. Like, he has like a 95% finish rate within the first minute, which is unheard of, crazy.
Yeah.
So,
dude, and I think if you had watched the Pavlovich Aspinall fight with knowledge of the fight beforehand, you would be like, oh my god,
yeah,
dude, it was so iconic when he. Oh, dude, I honestly thought Tom was gonna get finished because I thought he got hurt. I was like, maybe, but my god.
Well,
Tom
dude,
Aspinall
he's
is
a big part of the reason
fighter.
why I even got UFC Fight Pass is because like I told him the heavyweight division just became a bit of a lull to me, and I just kind of just didn't really. I just didn't follow it.
It
no
didn't
more.
tickle his pickle.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't tickle my pickle.
Yeah.
You know, I need that gooch really, really hammered up sometimes.
Yeah, it
But
needs to be licked. It needs the attention sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't go unnoticed. But
Relationship
anyways,
advice.
with UFC Fight Pass, I've caught up on some fights, and he was a big part of that.
Yeah, dude.
What I
his
did, what I
career
wanted
is
to follow.
super insane.
Yes.
The way he submitted Volkov,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
man, is phenomenal.
I mean, dude, he's that new breed of heavyweight, and he's honestly what I've been wanting from heavyweight that I feel like I've been lacking. So.
Yeah, dude, it brings a lot of excitement. Tom Aspinall, like he's just a phenomenal fighter. He's so good everywhere. So I think he's the future. I think it's only a matter of time before he genuinely becomes undisputed. I can see why fans are upset that they feel like he's being gatekept from becoming undisputed, but the UFC is gonna do what the UFC is gonna do.
I mean, I
At
agree
the end
with
of the day, you know.
I agree with what Daniel Cormier said at the broadcast. He was like, to me, him and Curtis Blaze, that's the true heavyweight fight, and I totally agree.
I absolutely agree too.
So,
it's definitely just not fair to the fighters that are consistent and
yeah.
both these fighters are coming off very long layoffs. You have to stack the card to make me want to buy it. Honestly,
Yes, you better.
Otherwise, I have no interest. I mean, you could put the Conor McGregor, Conor Chandler as a co-main.
It would be main for sure. If Conor's on the fight card, he's a main. Regardless.
You think so?
Yeah, regardless of their belt. Yes.
Okay,
Of course.
I'm just asking.
I mean,
Opinions?
what card? Other than when he was very first coming up.
Yeah.
What card can you think of that Conor wasn't headlining? Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's been
got
a
me
minute.
there.
It's been a minute, So no matter what, even if dude, I mean, we saw what the Donald Cerrone one. They'll put just that fight. They know it's gonna sell. They'll make the undercard just meh.
The cold open was longer than the fight.
Exactly. So there you go.
That was a dope ass cold open too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I loved it. It's really good. But yeah, man. I mean, Saturday nights are for the boys.
So Goni got to work.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it is for the boys if you haven't caught up at all.
Oh, the boys.
You know, if you have the weekend off, catch up on the boys because spoiler alert.
This last episode was crazy.
Man, dude, this show has continuously gotten better, and just when you think it might go one way, it goes another. And man, I'm scared to see what Homelander is gonna do at his full potential when he has his Omni-Man moment where he just destroys the city. I genuinely actually can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, bro.
Because it just feels like a ticking time bomb that's getting there, and it feels that way with Butcher too.
Yes,
because that's first of all, it's fucked up. You literally to cut a man's leg off, hold him hostage.
I know, crazy.
Wow, and that demonic smile at the end, man. Honestly, give Carl Urban and Anthony Starr a fucking Emmy because they both deserve it. Yeah. It's the phenomenal performances. I want them to have another meeting again because every time they're together, it's you don't want it. Your eyes don't leave the screen. Yeah, so amazing.
Well, they have such a good way of just I don't even know like capturing the whole scene as a whole and like just bringing it to life. Like when Homelander's doing his thing, I'm like. I'm genuinely like, oh my god, and the way that he's like setting up Ryan now, dude. When he was doing it, I was like, that is crazy. He's manipulating him in such a way to do what he wants him to do, but what Ryan still thinks is his own, like his own thoughts. Yep. Yeah, it's like I was like, oh my, like I was, dude.
And
crazy.
What about I think Sister Sage. It alluded that Sister Sage knew A-Train was the mole.
I think so too.
But it wasn't her that saved A-Train. It was the other girl. It was I forget her name.
Well, because they made a pact.
Yeah, they made a pact, and you know what, dude? Like when Homelander was like, "Be wrathful, gods," I was like, "It's coming, dude." And I think season 4 is gonna end in a way where we're like, we're gonna be so frustrated. I think it's gonna be a really big
I actually
cliffhanger.
agree.
And I'm really excited. I think we have 3 more episodes to go, I believe.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to see it all already, to see where we end up, I'm okay with waiting because I'm like, okay, like it's kind of fun if having these fan theories and then just whether it's true or not. So hopefully we get season 4's questions answered, and then we can kind of go into a new season. I'm okay with that because I want certain things answered, like is Billy's tumor, like what's up with that? What's that thing? Give me more on that. Are we gonna get the soup virus? Someone said that they might do Billy as the villain halfway through season 5. Because in the comics, he essentially does become the villain after.
Oh, really?
He kills the boys one by one. Yeah. Hopefully they change it. I really hope they change it. They've changed a lot. I think they're going to.
I know that I don't have a lot of knowledge of the boys.
Or knowledge in general.
In the comics. But anyways, I just think that they've already gone so far off the track that I think they're just going to continue to do their own thing. But just to go back to A-Train, I don't think she suspected him until they were on stage. And I forget exactly what he said, but it kind of like triggered her and she looked at him like her side eye. And I think at that moment she was like, oh, it could be A-Train. Because she was like, someone would have to be so fast in order not to be on thing. And he's like,
she's not dumb though.
No, I know she's not dumb, but I think she was. I mean, again, she's also really good at hiding her emotions. Like she's actually, I don't know what she's done previously, but she's actually really good at being the smartest person alive.
Yeah, who knew an actor would be good at their jobs, right? That's
well,
crazy.
Fuck you. But what I'm saying though is that like, you know what I mean? Like some people can also. This goes to casting for them. You know what I mean, dude? How many times have we seen things where a person just doesn't match the character that they're playing on screen? It's happened multiple times, and I'm just trying to give credit where credit's due, you asshole.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I agree.
But that's why I think.
Okay, but The Boys has had continuously good casting.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. I want to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
There's been. I mean, look at Marvel. They can't cast at all.
Simon Pegg, Huey's dad.
Yeah,
that thing was crazy. That was emotional.
Oh my god, that was so emotional. It was so crazy.
I felt so bad for Huey when he just broke down into his mom's arms. I think we might see him really be like the hopeful Huey, or I think he's gonna fall in a little more into villainy again. Maybe go a little more brutal because he's realizing that he could realize that V's just a lot, like these soups are just dangerous.
Yeah.
In the comics, Huey is the one that inevitably kills Butcher because Butcher had already killed all the boys. And yeah, dude, it's just I'm so curious. I think something similar like that is gonna happen. But I don't know how. I think they're gonna do their own version, which I hope they do. I hope they change it up a lot, but still.
Well, I think, like you said, is that if he becomes the villain, and they're already setting the groundworks for him having a timeline on his cancer, so-called cancer that he has, which I think is just whatever parasite is in his brain. I think that's what's going to lead to him being evil, and that they could still, kind of take big inspiration from the comics and do their own thing with it. Like how you said, I do think it. I mean, it makes sense. He's already had to take out his dad, and he's going to have to take out his, his other father figure, essentially, that brought him out of the depression that he had from the first season to show him this world that he was unaware of. You know what I mean? So I think they're just good at the writing, what they do. Yeah,
man. I think that they're letting the writers do what they want to do, but still having some like. Yeah, I think The Boys does a really good job of just letting the creative team do what they want to do and letting what they need to do. So. Again, The Boys is killing it another week.
And I've been telling him that he needs to watch Gen V. He just doesn't want to watch it. It's really good. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Because there were some parts in here where I'm like, you didn't know about this, huh? You had no idea. And there's some characters, some big characters that are from Gen V that are now in there that he has no idea what their powers are. And one of them is fucked. That's why I don't want you to just look it up. I want you to watch it and you'd be like, oh my God.
I'll look it up.
Don't look it up. I hate when he does this. I think it's actually genuinely worth watching. It really is. Yeah. I mean, they're setting up. I think they're, like you said, they're only doing 5 seasons of The Boys, and I think they want Gen V to go past that, and that can also allude to Ryan potentially whatever happens with him at the end of this, or if he goes into the next, he just maybe merge into Gen V or become the Gen V's overall arching villain for it. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I would really like that. That'd be
Exactly,
really
and that's why I'm telling you, you
Okay.
should watch it.
cool. Okay. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. That's just one. It's just one of the best things that I think Sony has put out for sure. It's in partner with Amazon Studios, from my understanding. I could be wrong, but I do know that Seth Rogen and his writing partner produced this, and they just produce gold. In all honesty,
Yeah.
Anytime they produce anything, let them do what they want to do, which explains why they had so much of a hold, like in Sony, right? And man, like what was that thing you were telling me about the Sony IP?
So basically, Sony right now is taking scripts for everything. Like they're trying to turn any of their IP so that can be, and like you've already seen it with The Last of Us, Twisted Metal. They've already done some things, Uncharted, which didn't perform as well, but they've already gotten green light. But they're doing it with all their IP. So that means like God of War. That means like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like there's a lot of what they have, other than just Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man is like what Sony
It's keeping Sony alive.
well, in terms of like on the movie side, yes, but on the games, this is what I don't understand about Sony is that Sony could be so good at making their own standalone games, but then on the movie side, they have like just the most bonker things like Madam Web. It just doesn't make sense.
How dare you, sir? Madam Web was a generational movie.
Okay. You try to tell that to the masses and buy that one off. But anyways, they have so much. They're fielding anything and everything. They're from IP that is very well known, like God of War, to things that people don't even know a thing about, like Journey. But it's a different type of game where you just like go through the desert. I've never played it. I just know of it.
Sounds
But what
dumb.
I'm saying is that they're open to everything. Like they just did Gran Turismo. I heard it was pretty decent. I
want to watch
it.
Gran Turismo. I heard it's really good. It has Neil Blomkamp directing it, and he wrote it. So,
But I feel like everyone, when it comes to like the Sony IP, what they would want to go to is God of War, and I'm not against that at all. I'm not against that at all. They've already done it with The Last of Us.
yeah.
I think if they got a better writing team for Uncharted, that could be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the sky is the
Better
limit.
casting.
Yes, I mean.
You want Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake?
No, whoa, chill. I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
No.
He
But
wants it.
Tom doesn't need to be cast as everything exactly.
Yeah.
And I just don't like him as Nathan Drake. It just doesn't make sense.
No, I mean I get it. He doesn't fit the traditional, especially if you're a fan of the games. Like it's hard to argue against anyone that's saying I don't like this casting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing against Tom Holland. Tom Holland's great,
Yeah.
but there's just certain people that would be better in roles. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
So if you had to choose an IP that they would do other than God of War, because I already feel like he's gonna do God of War, what would it be?
Absolutely would do God of War. Infamous. I would do Infamous actually.
That's such a good. I forgot about that. That's actually so good.
Infamous.
Because they're already doing mine. The one that is Ghost of Tsushima. They're already it's already in the works.
Been in production.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that game. I played the fuck out of it.
I think Infamous would be really cool if done right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much cool lore from the game, and you could do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love the games. I would love to see I think a true fan of it would have to tackle it right, though. I think there's a certain way you should do it. There's a really cool feeling of Doom that you feel in the second game.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like the first and the second game. I would say adapt that into a movie, and I think that you might have something there, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other Sony IPs. I feel like there are
Infamous
so
is
many.
definitely a game that I've been wanting. I've only had very limited experience playing it, and it's something that I'm like I need to play it. Like it's on my backlog. I have a big backlog of games, but that's something I didn't even think about. That I would be totally down for Infamous. Do you think it would be better as a movie or as a show? Because they're fielding both. They're open to anything and everything.
I think it's just because some of the characters that you fight are very CGI heavy. That's the only problem.
Okay.
And the only other problem is I think you could split the first game and the second game into like a trilogy.
Yeah.
You just have to do it in a very smart manner. Because in the first game, if I remember correctly, like I think that's the first game could be its own movie. Because in the first game, you basically lose. The entire city that you were defending
Yeah.
is just gone.
Okay.
And the second one picks up you're on a boat going to another city. All of these refugees from the surviving city are going there. I think the third one could just be a completely original story, depending on what you do.
Okay.
Depending on how you want to do it, because especially the second game. The second game is like there's good karma and there's bad karma, meaning like you have different abilities based off what you can do. So you can literally attack innocent human beings in this game.
So there's a morale system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's super cool because there's a morale system where you're good and you fight the big monster.
So does that mean there's just different endings?
Yes.
I love when games do that.
It's so
I love it.
It's very tragic, and I think that the best
now
way
he's convinced me I really want to play. It's like I said, it's been
good,
on my
dude.
backlog. I have the first two, and it's a game that I've been meaning to play. I played it when it first came out, but I only played it in passing, essentially. Just basically free roaming.
You really do feel like a god playing.
Because I remember when I played it, I was like, "This is just a GTA superhero game." That's what I remember feeling.
To an extent, yeah. I can
just
say
flying around,
free roam.
Yeah, free roam.
Yeah.
That's the only why I didn't play any story modes. But honestly, I'm in full support of that.
Yeah,
that being one of their big IPs that they obviously other than God of War. I think God of War is probably
number one
for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, God of War is just a phenomenal game that. Literally, the scene in the fourth game always gets me to tear up when he gets the Blades of Chaos again. Have you played? You've played it, right?
I haven't played it. No. I need to play it. So don't spoil it for me.
won't.
But I want to.
But just know, in that game, when you go to get the Blades of Chaos, that moment, that cinematic moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's God of War is actually my next on my hit list because right now I just played X-Men Wolverine. I'm getting ready to post that video for Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, and then I'm also going to play Deadpool. Since I just beat it, I'm going to start playing Deadpool either tonight or tomorrow. So those are my next two that I'm dishing out, and then I'm going straight into God of War. I've been pushing off too long. I've been wanting to play it, but
well, dude, I'm going to replay it too, so that's probably the game that I'm going to pick up if I'm going to pick up a game.
Awesome. Fuck
yeah. I love that game. Oh, well, I'm also in the middle of playing Guardians of the Galaxy, but
You're still playing it?
I'm replaying it.
Dude, he's actually like I remember when he first played Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, "This is so good. This is everything I wanted. Like, this is Star-Lord.
Yeah, dude.
This is my Star-Lord.
This is my Star-Lord. This is why I became such a big Star-Lord fan, and now I'm like, dude,
don't get me wrong,
that's another series I want to see. If you do a Star-Lord limited series, and you treat him somewhat seriously, one thing I was getting annoyed is like, yeah, he's jokey and he's this fucking funny dude. He was also an outlaw. Like, let's treat he's just to me, the way I would make Star-Lord is he's just a sarcastic version of Boba Fett.
So would you do as a
or Mando? No, I do a sequel.
Oh, okay.
I do a sequel. I probably maybe have it take place on Earth and then in space. Have him, because the whole point of having Star-Lord on Earth and not exploring that's a waste. You should explore that. So
that is true, huh? They were only on what was it called, Dual Earth or Secondary Earth or whatever.
No, they came to Earth on the planet in Endgame. Remember?
No. I was talking about in the third movie.
So in outer space somewhere.
I forgot what the planet was called. He always claims to have all this knowledge, and then when I call him on, he's like, "Oh, just somewhere in space."
But I don't know
out there in the
planets.
cosmos.
Yeah, I know it was a high evolutionary planet that he made. I just don't remember the name.
You just got to be Superman in order to get there.
Yeah, basically. Honestly. But yeah, man. I mean, I can't think of any other. I'm sure there's tons that I'm spacing on right now. Crash Bandicoot. An animated movie, Crash Bandicoot animated movie, I think would be awesome.
Yeah, I've been full
in vein of Super Mario Brothers, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
because they kind of adopt. I think it was whatever the newest one, other than the fourth one, because they came out Bandicoot 4. There was one previous where they did like more of like a Pixar type. What do you call it? Like CGI kind of cutscenes.
Wasn't there a Ratchet and Clank movie?
Yeah, there was, but I heard it wasn't that good.
Yeah,
it came out in like 2016 or
that's
something.
one that I think would still be really good if done right, because I loved those games as a kid.
Really? You played Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, I loved Ratchet and Clank.
I did not know that. I love Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank was my shit.
It was awesome, bro.
Yeah, it was such a cool adventure game. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I didn't play a lot of video games growing up, but I had a couple that like were definitely detrimental. I know Guitar Hero was one of them, even though I sucked.
Well, because I bought the Ratchet and Clank, the one that it wasn't a movie tie-in, but they came out at the same time. I bought because the game was actually better than the movie. Shocker.
Happens.
But I bought that one, and it's just been on my backlog because like I've also wanted to play. I've also had the newest one. I forget what it is. Rift Apart. That one I've been wanting to play for a long time.
Is that a Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
Or is that just? Oh wow.
It is
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank.
I want to get a couple of the games for that. Yeah, I think I would love to.
But
play them.
you know, you have to have a PS5 in order.
I knew you were gonna say
one,
that.
No, but that one really pushes it. Like that, I would say is probably one of the few PS5 games that is like, it is made for the PS5. It's pushing it. Other than maybe like Spider-Man 2. Because one thing that I hate about, you know, like current, like the console generation now is that they're still making things for the previous thing. Like they're still making for the PS4. You know what I mean? Like
You're like, let it die.
Kind of, but it's also just like let them push the PS5 to its limit because they're spoiler, like in 2026 they're already gonna come out with a new PS6 or whatever.
Then why the fuck am I gonna get a PS5?
Well, so you can still play the games with me. I've been trying to get to play Helldivers forever.
I do want to play Helldivers.
Helldivers is awesome.
Get a PS5 eventually.
And they came out with that one game, Starship Troopers. They actually did come out with one, yeah. And I heard it was really good.
I love Starship Troopers. He's never seen it.
I want to watch. Do you have that movie? Do you have that Blu-ray?
I don't.
Wow.
That's the one I need to get actually.
Do they have?
That's
is
on my
there only
list.
one or two?
We're just gonna watch the first one.
So there is a second one.
There's sequels, but they're not worth.
Oh,
watching.
there's sequels.
Yeah, they're not worth watching.
Really?
They kind of become like a straight to DVD thing. There's actually an animated movie that they released straight to DVD that actually did not look bad.
That was
But
Starship Troopers.
yeah,
Interesting.
I think that's an IP I would love to see come back.
Mm.
Because it's very Helldivers esque.
Do you know?
Actually, I think it might be Sony.
Really?
I think so. I kind of want to look this up because I love.
I feel like off the top of my head, I would say it's probably like I feel like it's like Universal.
I love Starship Troopers. That movie was very important in my childhood. I watched that at
I've
too
wanted
early
to
of an
watch
age.
it. I've seen like something where it's like this, like
The prosthetics and the kills in that are really crazy, actually. For its time, too.
Yeah.
They're very, like...
it was like early '90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I know that I've seen some clips of it, like when they're like doing like their satire essentially of like propaganda.
Yeah.
Like it's so I'm doing my part. Like I seen that and I'm like already.
Oh, wow. It came out in 1997. I don't know what company made it, though.
1997, huh?
Yeah.
Year was born, baby. Let's go. I told you his good
Hold
movies
on.
came out in 1997 and you didn't believe me. One of his favorite movies ever came out at that time. And he just couldn't acknowledge
Dude, it came out on your birthday.
on my birthday.
I'm just kidding.
See, he gets me hyped, the little son of a bitch. I would be like, I'm watching it tonight.
You're like, I have this. I should have just let it
I
go.
was like, I'm watching it tonight. Let's go.
Dude, I can't figure out what production company.
I feel
did
like
it.
it's Universal. I'm gonna say
feel like
Universal.
you're wrong.
I don't think it's Sony.
Because I would have gone
I feel
to
like
a
Sony-
Starship
well, 'cause-
Troopers exhibit, dude. That shit's
But
so
see, here's
sick.
the thing though, is that Sony would have done it already because there would be no need for Helldivers. That's why I don't think it's
No,
Sony.
because they really fucked up the franchise. It's usually a really big failure when they.
Is it like one of those things where like Marvel back in the day sold a bunch of their rights, like their like their toy rights here, Blade rights here, like what they did with the X-Men, like they're just piecing everything together, like when they did with Sony and Spider-Man. You think
TriStar Pictures? That's Sony. Fuck you.
Is it?
Yes, I was right. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think that's right.
Anyways, because
Because
TriStar is-
Sony is owned by SIE. That doesn't make sense. SIE is like the overarching,
You know what? We're just gonna get tried. This is gonna be the rest of the pod. Okay, we're supposed to move on. Okay.
All right, move on then.
Jesus
I tried
Christ.
laying it up for Superman, and he just didn't pick it up.
I don't want to talk about it, honestly.
You don't want to talk about Superman? You don't want to talk about how cool his trunks are, how they match his whole aesthetic. Oh, he just looks like a badass now.
I will say it does match his aesthetic, but I don't like the trunks. They're so corny. I don't hate. Okay, I do actually, because I think it looks so stupid. Trunks on Superman are stupid. There's no way you could convince me that. I think someone tried to use like an excuse that trunks on Superman is like supposed to humanize him somehow, and I was like, to make him feel stupid, like
Okay.
to make him look dumb. I don't know. I just don't
totally
like it.
disagree with that. I mean, to me, I have to see it in live action, how it looks in the film, how pieces. But just on the set photos, I'm not really in support of it. It just doesn't look right to me. Something does look a little off, but I do lean towards more like this Snack Snyder, how that Superman suit looks, where it's just more flush and it's just blue. There's no like I don't even know what the correct word, but I know it's supposed to like contrast each other.
Yeah.
But the trunks just don't.
I
work for
like
me in
the
most
suit.
Yeah, the suit itself.
Just take the trunks off. It's just dumb.
Now, see, I don't think I hate it as much as he does.
Yeah,
I'm willing,
annoying.
to keep my an open mind going into it.
It's just outdated. Honestly.
No, I do agree with that. I do.
It's just outdated. Like, let's just move on and
was
leave
it in
it in the
1940s
past.
that it came out?
Like when he first came out.
Yeah, when Superman was first.
It was like early 30s.
Or early 30s,
Yeah.
so it's even older. So.
Yeah, he's a really.
I
old.
do agree that it is pretty outdated.
Yeah, man. Speaking of outdated, if your girlfriend has birth control that needs to be replaced, I'm just kidding. I may have hit too close to home. Okay, man. You brought something to me today that I was like, I actually would love to talk about this, and you did some research, and I'm just gonna let you take it away.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when a woman has birth control, once it gets to a certain point, like whether it's like starting to decline in terms of like the potency, initially it changes their whole hormones, like from everything. Maybe their periods aren't as strong, they don't last as long, things like that, and it can even affect like who you're attracted to, how much you're attracted to at a certain point. So like, let's say you've been with someone for 3 years, you decide you're gonna have kids, they get off birth control, their whole structure and chemical frequency can kind of shift around in a way to where like they don't even they can find you a little repulsive, like from your the way like you smile, laugh, like your body odor, like just things that will just kind of repulse them. And it's weird. It is so weird.
That's wild.
Yeah, and
men just call that post-nut clarity.
There you go. But it's just weird. I don't know. It's just so weird that something in your arm or something that you take, like digest, can change your hormones so much in the chemistry in your brain.
Change your body.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy how honestly how fragile it is. Like, I mean, dude, when you take drugs, like you could take an LSD tablet and it changes a couple of things, and all of a sudden you're tripping balls.
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy how fragile we are as humans.
Can I just say, I think you're the first man or the only man I've ever known to actually do research on this.
Well, part of it was because I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw it, and this girl was like talking about her story, like how her and her husband, ended up getting a divorce, and they were planning to have kids or something like that.
Is that such a loss, though, getting a divorce or breaking up? Is it really a loss?
Okay, but hold on. You got to think about it in terms of like
to...
where they are in life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're in your early 20s, okay, it's not as bad. But if you're in your late 30s and you're trying to have kids, that's the big point. If you're trying to have kids, that's where the issue comes in.
Those eggs are scrambled, baby.
Exactly.
they're not over easy.
They only have so many of them, and they, you kind of got to treat them.
Then,
like
after a while, again, get a new model,
Jesus. But
I'm just kidding.
When I saw the TikTok, it was going into it and like her experience, and then I looked at the comments, and the comments were littered with like, yes, the same thing happened to me. No, this is not true.
That's
so it's really
scary.
just a case by case, whether or not it's going to affect you. It might affect you, it may not affect you.
If men were on birth control, we would be I wonder what our symptoms would be.
Well, I told you I want to try the little like thing that simulates the cramp that a person that's pregnant would have. I want to do this. I want to do this on the pod, and you could just dial it from like 1 to 6.
Okay, you go first though.
No, we get 2. We do it at the exact same time. I know, it'd be fun though. Because you're supposed to do like tasks like you're.
You said bath salts was fun. I mean smelling salts.
Bath salt. I was like, whoa! Don't put me in that.
Smelling salts.
Smelling salt. No, I'm still recovering.
Richard doesn't do.
Dude, I
anymore.
smelled something the other day when I was at work, and I just had like instant PTSD. I swear someone else.
Please.
Yes, I swear someone else also ordered smelling salts, and I was like, no.
No,
I don't want it. I just don't. It's
just had a Vietnam War flashback.
Yeah, I'm just seeing helicopters, and palm trees.
Man, so do you what do you think a man would have to do in that position if his girlfriend's hormones are changing? Like, what advice, guide to guy? What do you think that should be?
Well, first of all, I think they have to get off of it, especially if you're planning to have kids. That's like the main reason. Yeah. If you're getting on birth control,
I agree. Kids, getting off is important.
Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, you need to let them do their thing, because, like, they're going to change. Like, I looked it up. It takes, like, 6 to 8 months for it to be fully cycled out of them. Like, it's kind of crazy, the things that they put their body through. I mean,
Yeah, pregnancy is crazy.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm a dude.
Okay. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things, like, it's just unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so much that you can do. You know, in my own situation, like, I want it to, you know, I want to have like a clean slate, essentially. Just know that this thing is off of my chest and don't have to worry about it. Like, it's like literally the final hurdle. So, and I think
it's the final countdown.
If it goes, whether it goes negative or positive, you just got to roll with it.
Roll with the punches. Like, that is life, man. That's all you can do. Do your best with what you can and treat every day as if it were your last.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, dude. Go get butt naked and run into traffic. Go do drugs. I'm just kidding. Don't do any of that.
I was like, what intrusive thoughts are kicking in here?
A lot. That should be a segment on our show, Intrusive Thoughts. But he censors me too much. He wouldn't let me.
Some of the things that he will just spout out.
Oh my god. Actually, that is so funny because I was thinking about some of the most fucked up shit I've ever said to him. I won't say any of it.
There's been a lot.
There's a couple times where I feel like I went too far.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple.
I think. Yeah.
When he was in his when he was like 21, when he first turned 21 and he was able to drink, the amount of things that he would say, I mean, he would get slapped at the bar. You know what I mean?
Did I get slapped at the bar?
I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Like the type of things that you have said would
I've
get you slapped at a bar. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You
probably.
Understand? Okay,
I can agree with that. Yeah. I've said some outlandish shit.
Now, see, me having a very open-minded personality,
and he knows I'm just an asshole.
Fine, and knowing what dark humor is, and understanding, and also thinking it's very funny. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the things where me and him can bounce off of each other very well. We're both infamous idiots.
Except he hides it a little more than.
I'm very good at hiding mine. Yeah. Mainly because I was in customer service.
Dark side.
Yes, I was in customer service so long that you kind of have to mask it. You can't just be rude to people.
I'm pretty good at it.
I just don't
censor myself around you.
When was the last time that you actually worked with the public, though? Like, people day-to-day public.
That's a good point. You got me there.
Yeah,
you got me there.
That's what I'm saying. He would say some wild stuff.
I think one of the wildest shit I ever said to you was, do you remember we were out? No, we weren't out. We were playing video games, and your girlfriend at the time, you know, she went out with her friends, and we were playing, and he kept beating me. I just can't beat him at video games.
He can't beat me in particular at UFC 2, which is the best UFC game ever made. That's its own topic.
Anyways, I get frustrated, okay? And he keeps beating me, and he's a sore loser and sore winner, first of all.
No.
Yeah, you are.
Let me just say, I have like a Diaz approach, where I'm like, what's up? What we doing here? Huh? Where's all that talk at, eh? And I'm like, body, pa. That's my style. Anyways. But I'm also, when I lose, I'm like Diaz. I'm like, fuck this shit rigged.
Yeah. So he's annoying. Anyways, do you remember what I said to you? He was beating my ass so bad. I just let it slip, and I was like, "You're beating on me like I was the guy you caught your girlfriend cheating on you with." And the look on his face, do you remember that?
Out of pocket, even now, I was like, "Oh my god, he did say that." I was like, "Jesus."
That was a moment where I was like, did you not? I think I did apologize. I was like, "My bad, bro."
Yeah, he was like, "That's too far."
Yeah, my bad.
You think?
You're like, my girlfriend's literally out right now. Oh man, that one and the other one. I think I said semi recently. I think I said it not recently, but I think I was like, I miss my boys out with me. And he's not. To be fair, he's not the only one I've threatened with this. I think you know where I'm going, right?
Yeah, I do.
I was like, dude, sometimes I just want to put some women's underwear in your passenger seat, so when your girlfriend gets in, she just gets mad and dumps you, dude. Because how are you gonna explain that? How are you gonna explain some women's panties that are clearly not hers? Yeah, but I'd get punched in the face.
He just wants me out in the streets with him, unfortunately.
No, I don't. I just, I miss our bro time. I miss our bro time.
He needs a good wingman.
He's always like, I gotta give my girlfriend attention. And I'm just like, whatever,
You
man.
do. I mean, that's part of having a good relationship. But see, he just needs a good wingman because he can't seal the deal himself. Yeah. I gotta do a little alley-oop
That's true.
layup.
I do need a good wingman because I don't have any good wingmen. They fucking suck. They don't give me alley-oops. They give me the fucking ball and they expect me to run across the goddamn
I kick it and I'm like, go get it.
Yeah, I'm just like, why? How about a little help here? How about,
Yeah.
Man. I mean, what if, your significant other, obviously what if scenario, significant other was like, Let's go non-monogamous. What are
It's
your
a
thoughts?
deal breaker.
It's for you.
Yes, 100%. It's a deal breaker.
Okay.
And I mean, to me, when it comes to each individual relationship, you're into your own thing. You know, no judgment here.
Respect it. How you want to
Yeah,
live your
but
life.
for me, that's just a boundary I'm not willing to cross. And to me, I don't know how anyone can really cross that boundary. I mean, you are so secure in yourself and everything. Like, I just, you know what I mean? I feel like people will take it as insecurity, but it's more just like, no, it's a boundary that I just don't even want to cross. Like, I don't even want that potential negative outlook, essentially.
Again, I don't think, even if it was coming from insecurity, at the end of the day, like, your partner is going to feel insecure, so your job is to secure them. Am I wrong?
Well, dude, I mean, I've seen so many things on Reddit where like they had an open relationship, and it's almost always the person that is like suggested it that is now regretting it. Yeah. And that the other person is now thriving. Now, obviously, you can't believe everything you've seen on Reddit, but I've seen so many of them that half of them have to be.
You want to know why? Somebody said this. I saw this on the internet, that when women cheat, it's emotional. So you know that there's an emotional core to it, right? Mm-hmm. When men cheat, it's just a physical thing. And I think it's a very interesting thing that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about. You know? Because I do feel like women take sex a lot more seriously than men do. Right? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't see that,
You know? So it's just like, it just depends on what your preference is. In all honesty, I think if you can do non-monogamy, good for you, man. Like, you definitely have to be secure. You know,
I mean, when I worked in construction, there was 2 people that I worked with that were both in open relationships, openly, and they were telling my workers, people that I work with, "Hey, bro, you want to come over tonight?" It's just wild how like nonchalant,
totally unrelated, but like, what's their at?
Okay. Whoa. But I mean, I didn't know them personally like that. Because like, if anyone that's ever worked in construction, once you're in like the building, there's like a little hut essentially where they do all the planning and everything, and you can go in there, especially when it's like raining. It's like a lunchroom, like it was in high school. Everyone's talking, it's loud, and you know what I mean. And like, I'm just hearing the conversation to my right, and I'm like, oh my god!
I mean, dude, get a bunch of men together, dude. They're gonna say some horrendous shit.
Oh no!
But also,
women, hold on. You want to say you think you've said offensive things? The things I heard when I was on the construction site, I was like, bruh.
See, I'm not even that bad. He's just being dramatic.
I'm being a little dramatic because I like to sell it. It's also just fun.
It is a little validating when someone's like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, it's part of, like, to me, that's like kind of in its own way. It's part of comedy. It's like dark comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something so wild and so unexpected that it's funny. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big part of what comedy today, in my opinion, kind of misses a little bit.
I just feel like you don't keep up with comedy. That's
well, I mean, a little bit, but like, well, you gotta think about. Hold on, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about broad. I'm talking about how sometimes it can come across as a little too woke. Like, perfect example is the Tom Brady roast, bro. They were wanting Tony Hinchcliffe to edit what he was gonna say.
Yeah,
his whole bit. They wanted him to edit it. They even wanted it to be as long as it was. To me, you can't tell me that's not censorship.
Oh no, 100%.
But that's what I'm saying.
They did to him what you do to me. Absolutely.
I mean, to a little bit, you know. I mean,
he's way better, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the king of roasting.
Genius. God damn, dude. He roasted Bert so hard. I loved it. I absolutely loved it, man.
But that's what I'm saying is I feel like sometimes it can be a little too safe. I mean, like, especially in the last, like, ever since like 2019 on, I feel like the whole woke thing has just been a little too woke. Like, you know,
keep the woke over there. No, I get it.
I mean, you know, we live in Oregon, one of the places that can be so chaotic in terms of woke. Like where it is. You know what I mean? Like everywhere other than the major city is a red state essentially.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty fucking accurate. There's gonna be a civil war in Oregon. It's gonna be so much fun.
Whoa! Did you see the thing that they want to split apart?
I'm there.
Did you see that they want to split apart? They want to. What's the state that's is it Iowa? They want to like converge with Iowa.
Who?
The basically what is it? North of Portland, They want to branch off into a new state.
You can't do that.
Yeah, they well, I mean, they technically can. They just need enough, some kind of votes or something. I'm just saying that I think it's funny that they're willing. They're like they want to be like these people do not align with our ideologically views.
Ideologies.
Yes, that they are so much that they want to split the state in half, which I don't think has ever happened ever.
Wherever the white women are, I will be.
Right.
The South.
Yeah.
The North?
I don't know where we are at this current moment. I think it'd be South.
I think we're North. Yeah, I think
North.
we'd be South.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pass for white. Hashtag make America great again. Dude, they should just make presidential debates like fights. Honestly,
They really should. I mean, just
whoever could win a fight, I would happily fight a war for them. Honestly, now I'm just gonna have to probably fight a fucking war for no reason.
Mm-hmm. I know, dude. The auto draft is crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be.
Thank God I'm gonna be 27 in like a month.
Yeah, you bitch.
It's like, dude, it's actually one of the.
Is
few times-
26 the cutoff?
Yeah, 26 is the cutoff.
So when I hit 26, I'm good, or do I have?
No. 20. If you're 26, you can get drafted. If you're above, so 27 is the. Or I guess 27 is the cutoff. I was more saying 26 is the cutoff for being able to be eligible to be a draft.
I hope we go to war within the next month. So I
No,
have to go.
did you see that they're outside of like they have a Russian submarine outside of like Miami or something?
You want to get me to sign up for the military? Promise me the super soldier program.
He wants his own compound.
I want to be oh my god.
What would your powers be if you were able to be on compound B?
Honestly, dude.
Wait, so is there a difference between like in terms of the powers that you get from temp V to compound V?
Temp V, I don't think so, but Temp V is supposed to be.
It's just temporary. Yeah, but that's what I meant. Is like, do you think you would get different powers?
I don't know. That's a good answer. I would want probably like Soldier Boy's powers. I feel like that's enough.
Oh yeah.
If you give me Homelander's powers, I'm gonna turn into Homelander. I don't think I'll be a good person.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think if I had Homelander, if I could choose my power.
Honestly, as long as I get like some kind of super strength, I think I'd be pretty much cool with just about anything. As long as I have super strength and like also my skin is, I don't know, extra durable.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be sick.
You know what I mean? Like it would just.
I'd be happy being bulletproof.
Yeah, bulletproof would be
It'd be sick.
Yeah, but if you got in a super fight, you could still die. So there's still some weight to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I really like Soldier Boys because I feel like Homelander is too much. Soldier Boy's like the right amount, I think. And yeah, I just feel like I probably wind up being like Soldier Boy. Honestly.
So you would have a shield.
I think that'd be so cool. I really like that shield. Yeah, I think he makes it work.
You think he's gonna come back in this season?
Actually, I don't.
Or you think they're just gonna save it for season 5?
No, I think he could be a Gen V thing, or I think he could be a season 5 thing. I'm not sure.
See, I wonder. So I'm assuming then what the timeline's going to be in terms of the seasons. I'm assuming it's going to finish this one. They're going to do season 2 of Gen V.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be the final season of The Boys.
Dude, I have a feeling I know how this season's going to end. I feel like it's going to end in the White House, Victoria Newman, and because there's a shot in the comics because Homelander has gotten all the suits to fucking just destroy. And there's a shot where it's the White House and you see a bunch of suits a bunch of superheroes hovering over it. I was like, that'd be a sick way to end the season.
That would be a sick way.
It just
big
cuts
cliffhanger.
You're just like, I'm telling you,
the show already gets me to just have jaw-dropping moments all the time. Like, dude, they kill it, bro. Yeah, they fucking kill it, and I'm like, dude, I can't praise the writing team enough, and just the things that they're able to accomplish and push the narrative forward. It's like, god damn.
It's just such a well-written show.
So are you actually going to give Gen V a shot now?
I got a couple other things on my backlog, dude.
Like what? What is so important that's on your backlog that's not relative to The Boys? See, the thing is that it's relative to The Boys now. It's relative to The Boys now, and we're only moving forward. Dude, the way he binge watches, he could get it done by tomorrow. Exactly. I think it's only 5 episodes.
That's a good point.
Maybe it's 8, but to me, I think, dude, because there's a character in there. It's the little blonde girl. She reminds me so much of you. There's like a part where she comes out and she's like introducing her to her roommate, and she's like, what kind of drugs do you want? And she just has like a bucket full. And it just reminded me of when he was like in his like 22, and he was just like, what am I gonna have today? Like just on some wild shit, just doing anything and everything possible to just I don't even know. Just be crazy, essentially.
I had my limits.
So there you go. I want you to go in watching Gen V and take notes and see if you could relate to her in any way.
Probably, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. Actually, now that you mention it, I don't think I have anything that is, because Hajime no Ippo is like very episodic to an extent.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in a couple of days. I've been just rewatching Dexter, man.
I mean, Dexter's it's something that I want to rewatch.
It's gotten me hooked again. I kind of can't let it go. I'm in season 3 now.
Oh, you're getting to the good one.
Yeah.
To me, it's prime is just 1 through 4, and that's not to say after 4 is not bad. It's just the way that they ended it is what's so bad.
And what's also the approach that they took, like the new killer of the season, essentially.
So yeah, explain that to them, because I'm me wanting to go back and watch it. I want to look at it from his new perspective that he has.
Well, I also before I rewatched it, I watched some deep dives, and I watched Nerdstalgic. They make really good quick videos if you want to check them out. And they talked about the most recent season, New Blood, and they said
Which I never saw.
how Dexter made up for the bad season, but also ruined it again. And it kind of explained exactly what I remembered. And it's the 4th season, the main showrunner leaves the show. So a lot of what the main creative voice is now gone. What people have latched onto, the executives and the people that took over the show, were like, what makes the show good is these interesting new killers that Dexter has to chase to kill as well. When I think they missed the big point where it's like, what makes Dexter interesting is how complicated a character he actually is. You know, how does a Miami Metro blood analyst go through his day-to-day life, being a serial killer, but also doing his job, being a father, being in a relationship, being a brother, all of these things while evading getting caught and keeping to his strict code, the code of Harry. But also, as he's going, learning more about his past. So I think they just lose sight, because I can tell, because I'm like, dude, season 3 is so good too, because the first episode, you already know what happens.
I know what happens. Yeah, I've
so when she tells him, "Oh shit, I'm pregnant," it's still like, "Oh my god, that's right."
Yeah.
And you kind of see where Dexter's coming from, and yeah, man, it just reminds me why I really love Dexter. And iconic, probably one of the most iconic main titles. I love watching the intro to that show.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good, so catchy.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you a little hungry.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I remember because I watched it when it was first coming out. Yeah. I would always go to my grandparents. It was like every Sunday.
That's not a good show to watch as a kid.
No, but I think I was like 11 maybe at the time or something. But I mean, my parents didn't really care as long as
as long as it wasn't porn.
Exactly, essentially.
Which she still watched.
Yes, but they didn't need to know that. But anyways, back on topic, you motherfucker. You made me lose my fucking train of thought. Oh, what I was gonna say is one of my memories that I remember the most of being like, oh my god, I think it was the end of season 2 when he smacks or beats the hell out of her ex-husband, and she's looking in the backyard and she finds his shoe in the back.
Yeah.
I was remember oh my god, me being it was one of the first times that I was aware of you gotta set the clues and the foundation of of what's happening.
Such a good show, I know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That was one of my first thoughts as a kid, realizing the importance of laying out a story.
Yeah.
So Dexter's awesome. He's making me want to rewatch it so bad, and it's already been on my list because it just recently came back to Netflix, right?
Yeah, it just came, because that's where I originally watched it on Netflix years ago before it got taken off, and then you couldn't see it anywhere for a minute. So it was on Amazon Prime.
Is New Blood on that one as well, or no?
New Blood is on Paramount Plus. You can watch it on there.
Okay.
You can watch it.
Because I do want to. If I'm gonna rewatch it all, I'm gonna rewatch. Because I never even watched New Blood.
New Blood is really good up until the ending.
See, that's what sucks. I'm like, oh my god.
But here's the thing though. To an extent, I understand the ending when it's explained to me, but I don't feel like it should be explained to me.
Yeah. I totally.
So maybe the general audience, including me, I don't consider myself the general audience. But maybe the general audience just didn't quite understand why Dexter did need to die.
That's a bad thing. If he doesn't understand the meaning of what it's trying to convey at the end, that's a bad sign.
Yeah,
that's a bad sign.
But there's a lot of foreshadowing too, to be fair, of his death. Now that I look back on it, especially from the
Spoiler
first
alert.
episode. So you know. Oh wait,
I did not know. So apparently he dies.
Yeah.
I just said I wanted to watch it.
I just realized I spoiled it for you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Well, might as well just tell you.
No, I want to watch it.
His own
I already had some inkling that, because I remember when it first came out. I think he
His-
also
his
dro-
son shoots
I think,
him.
I think. See, I didn't need to know that. You son of a bitch.
Fuck it. I might as well just tell you.
Mm.
Because he shoots him because throughout the season, he's helping him with his dark passenger, right? But the whole time before, Dexter never wanted Harrison to be like him.
Yeah.
But now that he sees it, in a way, he kind of gets giddy. He's like, oh, I have a play friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, he acclimates to the school, and he gets close to one of the wrestling coaches who's a local PD officer there. He gets caught. Dexter gets caught by his girlfriend there. And I'm not going to spoil that.
You're not going to spoil that part. But you're going to spoil the biggest part of the whole show.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
exactly.
This fucking guy. This
But
fucking guy.
essentially, like, Dexter gets a hold of that wrestling coach when he's on, because he's watching him, and he snaps his neck to escape and leaves, right? And when his son realizes what he did, he's like, he tells him the exact same line in the pilot that he tells that pedophile. Open your eyes and look at what you did. And that's when Dexter realizes that he's broken the code of Harry. Like, he needs to be put down. He needs to be the one that needs to be put down. So his son essentially shoots him, and then his girlfriend lets his son go and take the car and just drive off without any consequences. And yeah, that's basically how it ends.
Well, now I don't want to watch Dexter anymore.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It is what it is.
I don't really feel like it's worth watching, because you'll watch it and get hooked up until the last episode. The last episode will really bring it down for you.
So do they just like pile it on? Because that's how I remember. Like I said, I haven't watched it in a long time.
It kind of felt like they did pile it in.
Like
They
that's how it
should've-
felt the first time.
So like the last 3 episodes should have been like episode, because it's 10 episodes. It should have been like episode like 4, 5, and 6. And there's a bit because Angel comes back, from the prior season.
Yeah.
And there's no Dexter getting caught and him having to face someone that knew him in his past life. That was the biggest miss on their part too, because the whole Miguel Dexter, so they were right about you all along. They could have had 5 minutes of dialogue and you probably would have made the ending a lot better.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
I actually don't want you to watch it, actually. Because again, you're gonna get hooked. You're gonna like it.
I'm like jogging your memory. And
Yeah, you're gonna like
actually,
it.
I don't like this anymore.
You're gonna like the lead up, the setup, but you're gonna feel the same way I do. And
Well, because I remember the original finale of Dexter, and it
He was supposed to die.
well,
Anyway,
yeah, but
yeah.
I'm talking about his sister. It felt so unearned and so weird. Like if I remember correctly, it happens off screen in a shootout. She's been shot in the hip and now she's in a coma.
She's like, she has a brain aneurysm, and you're like,
What? You're like, this is the route that they chose to go. It just
Yeah.
felt so shoehorned in and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah.
I would have rather have seen Dexter just kill that dude and walk away scot free, and then maybe I would have been okay with them ending it like the whole world knows he's the Bay Harbor butcher, but he's evaded, just the police.
Yeah.
That would have been a way cooler ending, in my opinion. Because then you're just like, it kind of leads into that and he's never been found again, type shit. That would have been much better. They should have just hired us.
And
honestly.
they could have just outroed it with like it was a documentary.
Yeah.
So you like that better?
I like that way better.
Okay, there you go.
Than the ending.
We solved Dexter.
But apparently the writers didn't.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Oh, man. Do you have anything else? On the
No, I
agenda?
think we've gotten everything, bro.
All right, man. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Infamous Idiots. You can join us next week. We upload weekly and clips weekly as well.
Yep.
Upload every Saturday. Like and subscribe, por favor. It pays the bills. Please?
Please.
Please.
Subscribe. Peace.